Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on this video I'm going to show you how to make some super affordable and really unique cone Christmas trees. They can be on stands or they can just be sitting flat, and the main ingredient for them is poster board. This came from Dollar Tree. You get 2 sheets of this stuff for $1.25. So that's what we're going to be doing. It should be really fun. I'm guessing that you're going to want to make these. These are maybe as addicting and fun to do as the tulle Christmas trees or the rag Christmas trees that I showed you how to make over a month ago. So that's what we're going to be doing. As you are hopping on, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Feel free to sprinkle all that normal good stuff. Okay, so let me show you a couple examples of cone Christmas trees. I have a couple to finish up, and we'll actually start one. Here is an adorable cone Christmas tree. You can see how it's kind of it's not permanently glued onto this base, and I think that's kind of fun. And of course it's totally in my colors and my style. This is a cone Christmas tree also. We'll talk about that. This is the start of a cone Christmas tree using vintage sheet music, and this is the start of a cone Christmas tree using these little doll house shingles that I picked up when I was in Boise on Thanksgiving break. So, okay, so what do you need? Well, I mean, you can have whatever kind of doodads you want, anything from buttons to trim, lace, pom-poms, rickrack, whatever appeals to you from that. Let me just stick my buttons away. I am going to make the vintage sheet music using my hole punch from Hobby Lobby. I bought this several years ago. I used it a ton, and then I haven't used it much recently, but it's the shape of a heart. It's a 3-inch punch. There's no brand. This is the Hobby Lobby brand, and they frequently have those on sale. You can make a cone Christmas tree using Dollar Tree rope, and I did this one, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. These are those shingles. Here's some sheet music we'll be working on. I'm using these as my base. These are those little wheel things. I got a huge bag of these at Goodwill in Alpharetta, Georgia, which is where I live, just maybe a month ago. But you can find these at Hobby Lobby in the wood section. They're meant to be like wheels for making cars. And then I'm going to use some dowels that will fit into these. And then I was going back and forth on my base, and I opted to do, and if this sounds complicated, please don't feel like it is, because it isn't. I'm going to show you the super easy and super affordable way to do them. So you could glue this onto some type of a base. I don't know what that, oh my gosh, that is the lid to something. And so is this. I think they're the lid to my jars. Well, we're going to use them anyways. Or you could glue them on one of those wood slices. I used, for fabric, I used this, it's the quilt batting that goes inside of a quilt, and I'll show you how to cut those pieces up. I have lots to show you. Oh, and the other thing I want to tell you is that this project is super glue intensive, super. And I don't think it has to necessarily be good glue. So if you're using, but I do recommend using a low temperature hot gluing device. So if you want, you could get some of that Dollar Tree, those Dollar Tree glue sticks. They work in a low temperature hot gluing device just fine. And but you are going to get lots of glue on your fingers, and glue can be expensive, so that's that. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning, which this project took me back a long ways into my past. It took me back to a Halloween when my mom, who was super crafty, she made me a costume. And I was going to be something like Rapunzel. And I had a tall cone hat that was covered in something purple and pink, and then it had a long train of probably purple tulle or something. And so this is how she made it. And then I remember making different things in Girl Scouts and just as a young crafter using this poster board, because I don't know if you've noticed, I'm about to jump into it. The styrofoam cones are expensive. The cardboard pre-made cones are expensive. With this, you can make oodly boodles of them using one sheet, and like I said, they were 2 for $1.25. Okay, I'm going to show you my trick. So I am making a cone Christmas tree that is right about 8 inches long. So what I did is I just took a length of, you can use twine, string, yarn, whatever you have. Fishing stuff, whoops, wrong end of the ruler, whatever. And you can make this as big or as little as you want. So, basically what I did was I cut my length, and then I put a loop at that, and I put it on my pencil. Okay, now this is like a mathematics problem. So you can make, with these poster boards, you could make your cone tree seriously as big as you want. I mean, you could make a gigantic one with this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, this is 8 inches. I'm going to put the little tail of it in the corner, and I'm going to hold it down with my finger. Can you see that right there? And I'm just going to do that. I think it's a protractor or something that I made my own version of, because I was thinking, how am I going to make a cone that's decent? Okay, so then I'm going to cut it out. And don't worry, it does not have to be perfect. In fact, your sides are probably not going to match up 100% because this stuff is a little bit difficult to roll. So if you want to spend the money and buy the pre-made styrofoam cones, or tree shapes, or the pre-made cardboard ones, have at it. But I was looking for something affordable, and this is the piece that I've already made 4 out of. Okay, so then the next thing is you got to roll it, and that is kind of hard. So let me show you what I just landed upon. I'm just putting it at the edge of my craft desk with the point right on the edge, and I'm just going to kind of move it along. I'll hold it up in just a second. I am the queen of figuring out how I can make something work with what I have. So basically I'm just putting a crease, a slight crease, and it's going to all be covered up, so it doesn't matter. in my poster board. Okay, so can you see that? See all those creases? Kind of where I just folded it a little bit. And then what you want to do is you want to roll it up. This is the hardest part of the whole project, seriously. And you're just going to have to wrestle with it. If you have a good way to do this part, please tell me, because this is all I've been able to come up with. You want it as much as possible to go up to a point where that tip is. It does not have to be perfect because we're going to be covering it. And how big the diameter is going to depend on how tight you force it to go. Okay, so then once you get to something that is reasonable, I'm just going to take my low temperature hot gluing device. If you're wondering why I'm saying hot gluing device, it's because Facebook, I guess, they don't like what this is, which is a hot glue gun. They don't like that word, and I don't want to get in trouble. So I'm trying to just play by the rules. Okay, so I glued part of it, but you want it to be real secure, so I'm going to glue this part up here too, and then I'm just going to lay that down. Okay, and then I'm also going to glue the inside where it kind of doubles over on itself. And this project is so glue intensive, and it's also a pretty big mess. But, I mean, you can make these cone trees any size, as wide, as tall as you want for pennies. One of these huge poster boards costs probably 62 cents. And then you can cut a lot of cones out of it. So here's what I have. This is the start of a cone, and it could either sit flat like this, or you could put it on a stand. And I'm kind of liking this little gap right here. But you can cut your rods shorter, or you could use some shorter dowels. The dowels I'm using came either from Hobby Lobby or Walmart craft department. Okay, so let me show you how to make this part. And we're gonna make it on this. I'm gonna take that little rubber off. And I'm gonna be putting 2 trees on this. Okay, so like I said before, these are those little wheels that you can get. You could use a thread spool, a wood thread spool. You could use some of those square beads from, wood beads from Dollar Tree. There's a lot of other options. But I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the center of one of these. And then I'm going to stick my dowel in it and try to get it to be straight up and down as much as possible. So let's do this one too. I'm super curious to see what you guys are going to do with these, because you could put rope on them. You could crochet a long string, I'm thinking about this, of yarn just in your basic stitch and use that. You can do fabric. You can do little wood pieces. You could do, I bought a whole bunch of glass, sea glass. It looks like sea glass. You could use that. So there's just so many different things. Okay, so here's my 2 dowels. Wow. That one is definitely not straight. Let me just see what I can do about that. Let's just pull it out and start over. You don't want it to be too full because the little hole that I'm putting my glue in, because that might make the bottom of it not be able to sit straight. Okay, I think this is better. So I'm just going to glue these on my piece, wherever. So these are your stands. If you want to do them, you don't have to. Okay, which one should we start with? Let's start with this one. This one was really pretty easy. It was the first one I did. Also, this is 12 inches, not 8. So you can see this tree is a lot taller and the circumference is bigger. So I just built the tree and then I started gluing around and around and around and around with this awesome nautical rope that you can get at Dollar Tree. I used not quite 2 of these. So it was like 1 3/4. So you'd need at least 2 if you're gonna make your tree 12 inches high. And I probably won't put any, gosh, these are crooked. I won't put any stand on it, but you can see. And the this poster board is strong enough to do that. So you could do that nautical rope. You could also do this. And I think either one of those is awesome. All right, and then this one is the same size as this, 8 inches. And it has a teeny little row of lace at the bottom. And then it has little pieces of my quilt batting. And I wanted to show you how you can quickly, the bottom ones I did triangles and then I decided I didn't like that. So then I went more to sort of kind of an oval shape. And so basically what I did to make it speedy was I cut a strip. I cut a strip of my quilt batting that's 2.5 inches wide. I didn't do a very good job. And then I'm just eyeballing it. And these are probably 1 inch, roughly, or just slightly bigger. They don't have to all be the exact same size. This would be a good activity to do while you're watching TV or something like that. So I cut up a whole bunch of them. And then I stacked them up. I hope you guys like this kind of information. I'm just always looking for a shortcut, a way to kind of do 8 things at once. And well, hey everyone, lots of people on. Thank you so much for the stars, by the way. So I have a stack of 4. You could try stacking it more than that if you want. And I'm just going to cut both ends as much like a rounded U as possible. Some of those are better than others. And then I'm going to cut it in half. And guess what I have? I have 8 little quilt batting they're kind of like shingles. And I just started in one spot and kept going and up and up and up and up. I gave up with trying to make it exactly even. And I don't think you need to spend any time worrying about that. So that's how I made that. Okay, so we're gonna finish these other two projects that I have right here. I'm gonna show you how to do that. And let's start with this. Okay, this is, like I said before, these are wood shingles for a miniature dollhouse. I found them at a thrift store for just a couple of dollars. They can be kind of expensive, I noticed, when I was looking at them at Hobby Lobby. But you know, they always have different sales, so wait to get some until they're on sale if you want. And so then you just basically are doing one row at a time, and we'll start right here. And I'll hold it up and show you what I'm doing. I'm going to do front and back, side and side, and then we'll kind of overlap. I'm just putting big blobs of glue on here. It's all hidden. I figured the glue will make the project heavy and more sturdy. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so there's 4 on there. Now I'm going to tuck a little bit of glue under each edge, and then we're going to squeeze it in and try to mold it sort of to this shape. Okay, I'm just gonna, this is where it's, I think, super important that you're using a low temperature hot gluing device and not one of those super high temperature ones. This is a Surebonder Cool Shot, and it's a cheapy. There's nothing fancy about this one. I got it either at Hobby Lobby or Walmart or some other craft store for under $10. And then I generally do use the Surebonder glue, but for this project, because it's so glue intensive, I am just using a bunch of Dollar Tree glue sticks. Okay, so I have it kind of pushed in, so they're kind of bending around my cone, and then we're going to cover up the spots where there are gaps. And we'll come back and do the same thing. We'll kind of put a little extra glue on them and try to press them down so they don't stick out so jagged. So this is what I have been doing all morning. Now I'm going to do the same thing and put some glue under the edges. And then I'll squeeze it. We'll try to make these little wood shingles bend a little bit and conform more to the shape of the cone. If you were doing this step with hot glue, you would be so sorry. And there are going to be about 10 zillion strings, glue strings, which I'm going to use I have a heating device I'm going to use that to cool it down. So let's go do one more row, and then we'll shift over to the paper one, which, let's see, let's put it this way. The paper one is super easy, and this one was easy too because I did not cut these pieces of wood out. But doing the quilt batting, that was a little bit time consuming because I had to cut each piece out. Oops, I just cracked a shingle. Okay, I might not be able to. Okay, somebody just said that sounds like a really cool idea. You know what, it is, and I have resisted doing anything really that involves styrofoam because it's so ridiculously expensive. And when you can make your own cone using some of this poster board and have it cost pennies, I think that is a huge difference, and I will definitely be making some more projects. I'm trying to decide where do I want to put this. I'm going to use one of these broken ones. So let me add one more, and then we will hop over to the other project, and I will finish this up off camera and get good pictures. But I want to know, what do you guys think? Who remembers making cones using this method? Did anyone else do this as a child? We might have actually been making Christmas trees in Girl Scouts. My Girl Scout leader was super crafty, and we did a ton of fun crafts. Okay, so let's say we're going to pause this right now and look at all those glue strings. Oh my gosh. And I will finish that one up. Okay, the next one I want to show you involves a cone that I've already started. It's the same size as this one, 8 inches. And basically what I did is I punched out a bunch of hearts using this sheet music that I have. I was going for more of a vintage look, and I wanted something that had kind of yellowed a little bit, and this was perfect. So whenever I'm doing that or going to punch, I'm going to cut off the margins because I don't think they look great. Alright, and there's 3 sheets here, so we should be able to make a whole bunch. Okay, and I want to do it so that the music is upright when I glue it on, and I'm going to be gluing mine on with the heart kind of upside down. So this punch I think was like $19 or something like that when I got it at Hobby Lobby 3.5 years ago. But it's been a good investment, and when I bought mine, I am sure that it was on sale. I'm going to show you what the next step is. You could do this with scrapbook paper. You could probably do it with brown craft paper. That could be interesting. And then you could add buttons or lace or something. That would be pretty. You could do it with wrapping paper. There's just so many different things you could do. So did I get this upside down? I think this particular batch, I may have gotten it upside down. Oh well. So I have a whole stack. I'm going to fold them basically down the center, and then I want the little petals to curve a little bit. So I'm just going to use one of these dowels, and I'll take a couple of pieces of my heart, and just going to, you could use a pen or a pencil for this, kind of wrap them like this, and that will make them curve. Let's do the rest. I want to finish this one. And one other thing I was thinking is, especially on one of these that we're just covering with paper, you could put a battery-operated tea light underneath your tree if you were setting it flat, and that might be really pretty at nighttime. So you can skip the folding steps if you want, but when I first started this, it just kind of laid a little flat. And I was like, I really want those to curl up. You'll see why I folded it in just a second. Okay. Look at this piece of sheet music. Has the piano teacher's notes on it. Well, let's see if we have enough. Okay, so once you get your paper punch, and you could cut it out by hand in triangles, in like a shingly, a curved shingly look, or whatever you want to do. So then I'm just going to start going around and around and around in a random order, and this fold is going to help me to get it to lay nice and flat. And I'm going to put glue on the point and edges. Let me see that. I'm going to use some of these that have the notes from the piano teacher, or whatever musical instrument this was. I'm not sure. I do like them better when they have a lot going on, though. A lot of notes. So, and I'll fiddle around with all these petals after it's all finished. But let's finish this one up. Let's grab some of this. Even if it's upside down, which it's been a long time since I took piano lessons. I'm not sure. It might not be upside down. So I'm just curling. See how I just kind of made that curl, and then this has been folded. I'm going to put my glue on the point of the triangle. Just a little bit. Let's make this so that it's just one little loop like this, because I really don't have a lot of room right here. I don't think I'll ever know the difference. So who has ideas? We're going to finish this one up, but I want to know who has ideas for decorating these? What kind would you make if you were going to sit down and make some of these today? Tell me in the comments what your thoughts are. We may do this again as another craft, but where we focus more on the decoration and less on how to draw this on poster board, you know, to create the cone in the first place. What would you guys like to see one of these made out of? That's what I'm really wanting to know. I'm thinking some bling on here would be interesting. I am going to make these little points. And we're going to try it that way. If you're just hopping on, come back when this is over and watch from the beginning, because I show everything about how to make the base, which is, I think, the most important part of the tree. And it's super easy, and they cost almost nothing. Seriously, can't beat that. Okay, and then you could, of course, do whatever. Whoops. not straight. Dang. You could still do any kind of decoration on it. You could even add glitter, which that would be fun. So let me get our trees over here. Tell me what you think. This one, if I didn't have it on a stand already, it could have been in the back. Helga says this is so adorable. Thank you. I'm doing good just to get up and get going. I still have COVID brain, which makes me a little foggy and kind of tired all day long. So anyways, I've just been playing and having fun. And I just want to review how we made these. I was using poster board. I made mine 8 inches. I tied a string around a pencil, and then I held my string in the corner and just drew an arc, cut it out, and this is what forms the cone, which if you, next time you're out and about, take a look at what the prices are for styrofoam cones and also balls, and for the cardboard ones, and I think you'll be amazed, and you'll probably think that 15 cents is a much better deal, which is about probably what this costs to make. Oh, thank you. Delina says you're so smart. These are cute. I have had a lot of questions about COVID. I am negative at this point. I'm still pretty much hanging out indoors, you know, except for absolute important things like I voted today. I live in Georgia, and we had a runoff election for our state senator. So I'm just tired, I'm coughing, and I'm a little foggy, which is what I'm calling COVID brain. But anyways. So if you guys decide to do this project, I want to see what you make. And I would love for you to post your pictures over at that group I set up for all of us to share pictures and ideas of craft projects. It's called Dreamy, and then there's a space, DIY. So DREAMY space DIY on Facebook. If you just type that into your search bar on Facebook, it should take you there. It's going to ask you a couple questions. Do you promise to be nice? Of course you do. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or, you know, say something rude. Do you promise that you won't use that group to try to sell makeup, you know, or whatever? And do you promise, that you also won't share other crafters' videos there? Because then I get 10 million questions on how something was made that I never even made, and I don't have the first clue. So if you just answer those 3 questions, we'll let you in. There's a ton of amazing craft projects being shared there every day, and I would love to have you be part of that group. And I would love to see what you come up with this idea of cone Christmas trees. So, okay, somebody's asking, could you use large popsicle sticks cut into sections? Oh my goodness, That, or the big jumbo craft sticks. That's brilliant because they have that curved edge. Yes, you absolutely could do popsicle sticks. You could do wood twigs. You could just glue a whole bunch of moss on here, and then you can embellish them however you want with buttons, little ornaments, little wood pieces like the things that you can get at Dollar Tree, bling, glitter. The name of the group is Dreamy DIY. So it's DREAMY space DIY. It's a free group. Once you get into that group, here's what I recommend you do. Depending on what time of day it is and what you like, get either a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a Diet Coke, an iced tea, a glass of wine, a mixed drink, a beer, whatever suits your fancy, and curl up with the blanket and just start looking. There's a ton of photos. Just click on the photos button so you don't have to see every post, and it'll pull up all the photos that have been posted there, and it's going to go on and on and on and on, and it's guaranteed to give you at least 100 new ideas. Spoons! Yes, you could use plastic spoons. Oh my gosh, I want to hear you guys' ideas. So, if you have some, put your ideas here in the comments. Chunky yarn, absolutely, yes. Chunky yarn would be kind of the same idea as this nautical rope. I think it would be fabulous. Okie dokie. Have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. I may be back. We'll see. What size is the heart punch? It's from Hobby Lobby. It's a 3-inch punch. The punches that Hobby Lobby carries are no name. They have no brand. They're just the store brand, I suppose. They have a huge variety of shapes. I have more, but this is a great one. And it was probably $16 or $18 minus 40% or something when I bought it. It has a clear plastic thing that goes right here. I took it off because it just got in my way. You can punch Dollar Tree cookie sheets with these too. All right, well, I hope that I got your creative juices flowing and your ideas all churning up in your head, because there really are zillions of different things that you could decorate your cones with. You can make them any size you want. These are small. This was 8-inch. This is 12-inch. I mean, you could go to whatever. Just be advised that it'll take longer to do if you make a giant one. Alrighty, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.